Aloha. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips that I recently shared with my Love Your Life group members based on a question that one of them had related to making decisions. And I thought this would be helpful for you guys as well. So in this video, I'll be sharing 3 actions that can actually help you make decisions. Aloha, I'm Julen. I'm a Feng Shui expert and a psychic. I am the founder of Finding Your Fiji and the Love Your Life program, which helps women stop spinning their wheels and procrastinating and start taking action with clarity and confidence to live a life that you truly love. So let's jump into this. So when you're in the midst of making a decision, there are 3 things that I've found to be really, really helpful. Decision-making tip number 1 is to clear your energy and get grounded. So what do I mean by this? I find that when I have a decision, particularly a big decision to make, that taking time away from the decision is super helpful. So what do? I'll do something completely different, something that I really enjoy, such as playing pickleball, organizing things, cooking, that type of thing. And I also think that doing things that help you get grounded or be in your physical body is really helpful as well. So this could include things like digging in the dirt, working in the garden, perhaps doing something with your hands, like being creative, crocheting or making a craft, that type of thing, or getting outside in nature. That can really help you get grounded and clear. So it's really important that you're clear when you are making decisions, because if you're all in your head and you're not really grounded, you're not necessarily going to make the best decision. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to look for signs. Ask for and look for confirming signs. What I like to do is actually muscle test things. And so when I'm feeling super clear, I will often do a muscle test. I'm not going to go into the whole, how you do muscle testing and all of that in this video, but I just want to say that that's a tool that I do use. And so I often will do muscle testing. And yet I still sometimes, especially if it's a really big decision, like my decision to move to Maui, I really want to have confirmation, right? And so I'll actually ask my guides, my angels and guides, to send me a sign. And I typically will ask for them to send me a sign that's super clear that I cannot mistake. That is, something that it would hit me over the head. Like there's no way that I can mistake it for something else, right? But the thing that I caution you about with this asking for a sign is don't do an either or thing. So don't say, should I do this or that? You really have to be super clear about your question that you're asking for confirmation or a sign about. And that's true for muscle testing as well. So I typically will ask, is it in my highest and best interest to do X now? So I want to make sure there's a couple things. Is it in my highest and best interest? Is it in my highest and best interest to do this now, right? And of course, you can always ask your angels and guides for more information, like what do I need to know about this, all of that kind of stuff. And then as it relates to signs, when you start looking for the signs, so you can ask your guides for a specific sign, which would be, something that is meaningful to you, that you would take as a yes or confirmation, or you can let them be creative, which is what I like to do, because they're super creative about how they give you signs, like they did for me when I was moving to Maui. So that's the second thing. Ask for and look for confirming signs. Tip number 3 has a couple facets to it. The first thing to do is to make a list of pros and cons of the decision. So if you are making a decision about whether to do something or not do something, make a list of all the positive things for doing that and the challenging things for doing that, or potentially the negatives if you do that. And then the second thing is to review those cons and notice any fears that are arising, or any emotions, anxiety or otherwise, that arise when you think about that particular thing happening, right? So that's really important, to be aware of what emotions are coming forth as you're thinking about the, what could potentially be the negative or the downside of doing this particular action, or making this particular decision. And then the third thing is to work through your emotions and your fears around these cons, or these, whatever is bubbling to the surface for you around this. So here's the thing, our emotions give us a lot of clues, right? They often help us make decisions. You hear people talking about like, oh, I got that pit in my stomach, like it just didn't feel good, that type of thing. But sometimes they can get in our way. So sometimes it's an old thing, old stuff, old fears around something that bubble to the surface when we're in the midst of making the decision. And there's actually a quote that I really love by Steven Pressfield. Steven Pressfield has written a number of books. The one I believe this quote is from is The War of Art. And what he talks about is that the more important a call or action is to your soul's evolution, the more resistance you will feel toward pursuing it. So you will have this resistance coming up if it's something really important to your soul's evolution, right? And so it's important to recognize that, number one, and then of course, work through those emotions. So I just want to share, if you struggle with making decisions, if you second guess yourself, if you procrastinate or have difficulty working through these emotions, I'd really love to chat with you, because I can help you. And I have a group, my Love Your Life program, that is super helpful in handling all of this stuff. So go ahead and schedule a discovery session with me below, and let's chat to see if it might be a good fit for you. I'm Kim Julen, a Feng Shui expert and psychic, and the founder of Finding Your Fiji and the Love Your Life program, which helps you stop spinning your wheels and second guessing your decisions, and helps you start taking action with clarity and confidence to live a life that you truly love. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends. I love when you share things. Also, put a comment below as to what action you most resonated with taking when you have a decision to make. So I'd love to hear about that. And then if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when I post new videos. We'll see you next time.